My name is Ben, and I am a consultant and I manage the user experience team at New Era Technology. So today I want to show you how to quickly get an idea of a website's accessibility health by using the keyboard. Please note this is not a full-blown exhaustive audit. This is just a quick way to get an idea of a website's compliance. Basically, if a site can be navigated with a keyboard, someone has really thought through accessibility, most likely. And in my experience, when a website can be navigated with a keyboard, when I do a full-blown audit, there's a lot fewer errors that I need to clean up. It's someone has actually gone through and really thought through the ins and outs of accessibility. So to do this test, I'm going to open up a website in a browser. So let me get this up. So any modern browser will work. I am on a Mac and using Google Chrome. Let me share my screen. Okay. So I'm using, like I said, I'm using Google Chrome. And just keep in mind, if you're on a Mac and using Safari, there's some settings that you'll need to update in both on the Mac and Safari itself to make sure that the keyboard is fully accessible. So we literally just start clicking the tab button. There's my skip to main content link. We won't get into that today, but that needs to be there. I'm just going to click tab, and I should be able to, as I tab through this website, I should be able to see a visual focus like that blue box around the logo there. And I should be able to click enter or return to activate that link. So quickly, I will just, with the tab button, I will just go forward and just to make sure that every item can be focused on. If you notice, the button is focused there, and now we're going down the page and really going to all the different items. And also so tab will go forward, shift tab will go the other way. So you can go forward and reverse. So we're back up here in the primary navigation again. And just keep in mind, one of the important things to really know is when you're navigating a primary navigation like this, and there's a sub-navigation. So that is shown with the items with the chevron. That means that there's a sub-navigation. And those things should be activated with your return or enter button. So that's what I'm doing now is clicking return or enter. Once I choose to open up that sub-navigation, I can then begin to click tab to go through that sub-nav. One thing to keep in mind, as you tab through a primary navigation, you should be able to skip straight across that primary navigation and not get lost in that sub-nav. Sometimes what will happen with sub-navigation is I will be clicking across and it appears that the focus disappears. So a lot of times what happens is that focus will actually be going down into that sub-navigation, even though it's closed. So that if you find that's something that would need to be fixed, and that's called a keyboard trap. So keep that in mind. But I should always see, just remember, you should always see a focus, like visually see a focus state. And I should be able to activate on every single clickable item with a mouse with my keyboard, hitting return or enter. Just to give you an idea about what is actually happening with the styles, the CSS, I'm going to open up the developer tools. So on a Mac, this is, Google Chrome, this is Option Command I to open up the shortcut to open up the dev tools. And from here, I'm going to select either a link or a button. So in this instance, I will select a link. So on the far left here, there's a selection tool. I'm going to click that. And now I can actually go up here and click on any item on the web page. I want to make sure in the code here, I'm going to click on A. So those focus states, when you actually see that visual focus, that will be on a clickable item. So if you noticed here in the code, I've selected the A, which is that work item in that primary navigation. Then on the right here, you will see there's the Styles tab. So we'll be on the Styles tab. And you'll notice there's this HOV button on the right. If I click that, that brings up what's called pseudo elements, these pseudo styles for those links. So we have active, focus, focus visible, hover, focus within, and target. So what we're talking about today is focus and focus visible. So when you actually, when you're tabbing across, that's when you see that focus design. And there's small differences between focus and focus visible. I won't go get into that today, but just be aware of that. But if I select focus, this allows me, if you notice at the top of the page, work is now highlighted. So that allows me to go through, I can select any other item within any clickable item in the code here, and I can test those styles. So I can actually, when I click on focus, I can actually go into the code here. If you notice, you see this A:"focus. That is this style that we're seeing here. So I can go in and make adjustments in the browser just to see if there's different ways to make it a little more noticeable. You know, if for some reason that blue focus is actually on a blue button, for instance, you can update that to white or something similar to that. But otherwise, yeah, so that gives you a little idea. Sometimes the outline, these focuses are overwritten in CSS. So if for some reason you ever see, if you're clicking through a website and you're noticing that things are not getting that focus, sometimes it's just been overwritten. Those pseudo styles will work by default in HTML unless they're overwritten. So just keep that in mind. But otherwise, that's it. So I appreciate you guys listening, and that's how you quickly get an idea about a website's accessibility health. So thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.